Good to go? Well, let's just get right into it. So the agenda for tonight, we're going to talk about the EagleWorks competition. That's probably why most of you all are here. But we have a lot of auxiliary activities and programs that are really central to the whole innovation and entrepreneurship initiative here at Tennessee Tech. So we have a certificate that you can earn. We have an opportunity for you called University Innovation Fellows, and that's a really cool one. Then we have some opportunities as well where you can actually get some money. So you can get some grant money to help you develop whatever product or service it is that you're working on for EagleWorks or just in general. And then we will tell you a little bit more about our upcoming workshops and events. So let's plow right into EagleWorks. So first and foremost, we have $20,000 in total awards to give out for EagleWorks. So we're super excited about that. Hello, Emma. How are you?
Good.
So $20,000, and this was given to us by a very great alumni donor to the university. So 100% of this $20,000 does not come out of university budgeting. So this is not out of your all student fees or anything. These are donors that wanted to give back to the university and to be able to see you all progress and grow innovatively and entrepreneurially. So we're really excited this year that we have that amount. I think one of the big ticket items that I'd like to tell you is that the first place winner will receive $10,000 this year. So that's a pretty good chunk of change for you all. And then we will also have a second and third place, and then we will have some additional awards as well. We'll tell you about those here in a little bit, but just for now, understand that we have a pretty good pot of money, and this is going to go directly to you all in hopes that you take that money, reinvest that into your idea, and progress forward with it. So I should always say that our website is tentech.edu/EagleWorks. Again, tentech/EagleWorks. When you go there, you'll notice that there's a little camera over there. We are recording everything that we do. It's only on me. You're not being recorded. But we will, the point being is that every one of these workshops that we're going to offer, we're also going to put them online. So if for some reason you can't make it, you can go back and watch it, or maybe there's something that you wanted to watch again. We will make all of those available for you, so it's available to you. Also, we have right now, if you go to the EagleWorks website, we have a how to compete in the FAQ section, so I highly recommend that you all go and take a look at that. We will talk about those things tonight, but every resource, everything that you need to know is all laid out very well on the website and is there for you to use. Thank you, Andrea, very much for all your hard work on the website that you do. So, as an overview, EagleWorks is Innovation and Entrepreneurship at Tennessee Tech. So we do a lot of different initiatives over the course of the year to ultimately get you to compete in the EagleWorks Innovation Entrepreneurship Competition. That is the big pinnacle event that we have every year. This year it is April 18th. That's a Saturday, April 18th. And then we will also have before that, 2 weeks before then, on April 3rd, we will have a round of preliminaries. So we will we'll talk a little bit more about how that works here in a little bit. But just know that your really important dates right now are April 3rd for the preliminary rounds. We take all of you all, you go through prelims, we narrow you down, and then on the 18th, you'll then compete in the finalist round if you're a finalist, and you can compete for that wonderful pot of money. So moving along, so how to compete. So this is an innovation entrepreneurship competition. You do not need to have a fully formed business to compete in this, although that's something that we would like for you to at least work towards. Now, if you have a business already, you absolutely can compete using your business. The only rule that we put into place for that is if you won first place last year and none of those people are in here because they graduated, you can't compete again on the same idea if you won first place, but none of you all are in that boat, so we don't really need to expand on that. So what we really want you to do is we want you to have an innovative idea. Okay, so it's all about, innovation entrepreneurship is all about idea creation and creativity and solving a problem, right? So like I said, it doesn't have to actually be a business, but we want you to look into it such that that you could certainly make a business out of it. But again, it's not a fully formed business. It's all about the idea, and we want you all to show us, demonstrate to the judges that you have looked into the viability of this idea, right? So viability meaning you've solved a problem, that you've identified a way to solve that problem, that there is a market for your idea. So if you have this great idea but there's nobody that wants to buy it, then that's not going to be very viable, right? And we'll go over the rubric a little bit more here in a little bit, but it's all about solving that problem. So how do you actually get there? How do you do that? So some of the main questions that people always ask me are, do I have to have a team? And the answer is no. You can be a sole proprietor. You can do this by yourself, but the chances of you winning are significantly improved by you having a team. And one of the reasons that we do that is in the real world, people work in teams, and those teams are comprised of different people with different backgrounds and different skill sets, right? So engineers working with business majors, working with nurses, working with biology people, so on and so forth. And the reason that we do this is, one, you can be able to compete better, right? You stand a better chance, but really what we're doing is getting you all comfortable and working across interdisciplinary teams so that you're getting out of your comfort zones, you're removing those silos, and you're understanding, how do I more effectively work with people that are different than me? So diversity is the key to everything, right? And you will make so much better of a product, so much better of an impact on society, so much better of an opportunity to to compete if you have that team. And what we ask is that if you're going to create a team, be honest with yourself and think about, okay, so I've got this idea, and maybe I'm an engineer. I'll just use that as a random example. So I'm an engineer. I've got this idea for some creative product that I've built, but maybe I don't understand how to do accounting, how to do finances, right? So it would behoove you to think about, okay, if I don't know how to do finances or business planning, things of that nature that business students typically learn about, maybe you network with business students and find a business student to put on your team. Likewise, maybe you are, we'll use the engineer example again, maybe you've got this product, and maybe this product that you're making is going to be a medical device, right? So one of the things that you might want to do is look for a biology student or a nursing student to put on your team, because they're the ones that understand the inner workings of the body, right? Y'all see where I'm going with that? So again, it's not required, but highly suggested that you all form an interdisciplinary team. So by coming to these workshops, not only are you all learning what we're being able to teach you all, it also serves as an opportunity for you all to network with other like-minded and differently minded people. So this is an opportunity for you all. You don't know, maybe you need a business student. You're a nurse and you need a business student. You can network with them. Furthermore, if you reach out to Andrea and myself, and the way to do that, the easiest way is go to the EagleWorks website, click on the contact button, and that goes to our inboxes. And you can tell us, hey, I'm a business major, and I really need to find I need to find an engineer or whatever. You can tell us that, and we will work to help network you with people. Now, we can't guarantee that it will be a good fit, but what we can do is we can introduce you to several people, and you can start that conversation and determine are they a good fit or not. So let's say, for example, the other way you can compete is maybe you don't have an idea. Anybody in here don't have an idea? And that's okay. You don't have to have an idea, right? But maybe you want to compete. So think about what your skill sets are. Maybe you're an engineer, maybe you're specifically a chemical engineer and you know about those type of things, or maybe you're a nursing student. You can let us know that you have these skill sets and you want to be placed on a team, so we can help to work to network with you all with that. So again, if you don't have an idea, that doesn't mean you can't compete. Just network with other people and try to find a team, or we can help you with that as well. So. And again, also you can click the contact button, or you can directly email Andrea as well. Facebook group, you want to talk to us about that?
There's a Facebook group. The link is in here somewhere. It's also on the tntech.edu/EagleWorks.
Up at the top. The link's up at the top of the page.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
But go ahead and join that group, and that's a great place to talk to people if you need a team member, or if you just have questions or something. I moderate it, so I'm on there every day if anyone has questions or anything. And that's just an easier way if you don't want to email, if you're using Facebook anyway. So.
Yep. So use that resource to intermingle and network. Again, I will also reiterate again, please go to the website and look at the how to compete and the FAQ pages. Everything you'll ever want to know is on how to compete. We break it into, I believe, 5 steps. It's exactly what you got to do. We've got all the dates that you need to be aware of, and then the FAQ pages also have important documents. So the rubric, the business model / plan template, all of that is on there and available for you all to use. So no surprises or anything. And also, one thing that I really, really want to impart to you all today is if you have a question, ask. We want to help you all. There's no stupid questions. So if you do have a question, if you're confused about something, reach out to us and we can help you with that. So also, I think it's important to note right now that Andrew and I are available for anybody, any of you all in here. We want to help you all, right? We want to talk to you all. Your idea is safe with us. We do talk with all the other teams, of course. One thing that's really important to understand is that when we get to the judging portion of all this, none of the judges are Tennessee Tech faculty, and none of the judges are me and Andrew. We have nothing to do with the judging whatsoever, other than giving them the rules and the regulations of how to judge, meaning that we are very impartial to all of you all. We want every single one of you all to succeed, and I know that every single person that's in here right now can win first place, right? So it's really all about how much you all put into it, how much passion that you all show, and how much gumption that you put into it. Andrew and I are here to help you every step of the way. So just know that we have no bearing whatsoever on the judges, and we will not divulge your information to any other team. So you've got that social contract with us. So furthermore, how to compete. So what we really want you to do is, when you're thinking about taking an idea that could potentially be a business, really the way that you do that is you create what we call a business model. What we want you all to do is take a really close look at what does it take to actually potentially make this business. Because here's the thing, does anybody in here right now own an actual business, right? Nobody, right? So the thing about it is when you have an idea, when you're competing in EagleWorks, or if you're in the real world, you've got this idea, you've done some research, and maybe you can create a business out of this thing that you've been working on, you have no idea how to go about this, and we're here to help you with that. So we have greatly simplified the process, in my opinion, on how to actually get there. So what we require you to do for EagleWorks, everything is based on the rubric, which we'll take a look at here in a moment, and it's also in the FAQ on the website. We will, through the workshops coming up, we have a business model workshop coming up, and we also have other workshops that will talk about how you actually get towards articulating and creating this business model. But basically what we want you all to do is think about, is there a problem? Have I identified a solution to that problem? Is there a market for this particular solution, and what does that look like, right? So that's at its core essence, that's what we're asking you to do. And then we ask you to create kind of, I guess what we would say, an executive summary of a business plan. We do not want you doing like a fully fledged business plan, 80 pages. In the past years, we've had people literally do 80-page business plans. We're not asking you to do that. Please don't do that. We want you to succinctly and articulate everything that we ask you to talk about, and it's all hooked into the rubric, right?
They average, for most people, most teams the last couple of years, 3 to 6 pages.
Yeah,
it's not a lot.
It's not a lot, and that's including any charts, Excel files, anything that you want to include into that. The length of it doesn't matter. What matters is, have you been able to clearly articulate what it is that you want to communicate to the judges about how you have solved this problem and how you are addressing each point of the rubric, right? So we have a template for you. You can literally use that template. You can fill in your paragraphs underneath all the headers, and then you're good to go. So we'll take a look at that. And by the way, I know that there's a lot of information to absorb tonight. One, again, we are recording this, so you can go back and look at it. Everything, again, is on the How to Compete in FAQ page. You have the ability to talk to us, but really the main thing is we wanted to have an overview for you all, just to understand, so you hear everything first and foremost from us. And again, if you have any questions, please let us know. But let's see here. Also, so we work with the Biz Foundry. Does anybody know what the Biz Foundry is? All right, a few people. So if you don't know, Biz Foundry is what's called a business accelerator. So they are located in Cookeville, down on the west side, next to Age of Aquarius, and across the street from Farm Bureau, the Democratic Place. So they are Sometimes we'll have events down there. They're really super cool people to work with. The Biz Foundry is what's called like I said, a business accelerator. They are part of Launch Tennessee. So Launch Tennessee is the statewide network for entrepreneurship. And we actually have a contractual relationship with the Biz Foundry where they will provide you all with 100% free resources, and they will help you with anything that you need to help compete in EagleWorks, right? What else would you say about the Biz Foundry? You'll be meeting them soon.
Yeah, you'll meet Jeff maybe later tonight.
Yeah, maybe later tonight. So they're super cool. They're awesome. It's a really cool place to work. It's a place that you can go down and kind of hang out.
We have a really cool event there, March 26th.
Yes.
You can put that on your calendar.
Yeah.
And you'll get to meet some of the judges and stuff at that event.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It'll be a lot of fun.
The main message tonight is don't worry about a thing. All you got to worry about is really, do you have an innovative idea? Does it solve a problem? We're here to help you every step of the way. Tennessee Tech puts a lot of resources and literal, actual money in place for you all to be able to compete. So it's really all about how much you all put into this. Let's see here. So the way that it'll work is over the next couple of months, you're going to work on creating your business model and articulating in the business plan template how it is that you solve that problem, right? So the dates for, let me back up. So the way that it works is you will, on March 25th, by March 25th, you will actually submit those documents to us. We are then going to send those documents to our preliminary judges. They will do what's called due diligence on your business plans. And then by the time that you come to the preliminary rounds, they will be very familiar with your business, right? And then what you're going to do at the preliminary round, much like at the main competition, you will have a maximum of 7 minutes to pitch. So very similar to Shark Tank, except there's a 7-minute limit. You'll come in, you'll do a 7-minute pitch, up to 7 minutes, and then you have, after your pitch is done, you have 5 minutes of a question and answer session with the judges. So again, very similar to Shark Tank. The maximum for the pitch is 7 minutes. If you don't have to take up the entire 7 minutes. So if you're done in 5 minutes, that's okay, right? That does not have any bearing whatsoever on the time limit of the question and answer session. So it's a maximum of 7 minutes for your pitch and a maximum of 5 minutes for your question and answer. We will have, to make sure that we're being very fair, we will have timekeepers in the room. And what we will do is they will flash a little card. So when you get down to 2 minutes,
2 minutes, 1 minute.
They'll give you a card, 1 minute, they'll let you know, and then 30 seconds. They'll be in there. It kind of helps you know where you stand, right? The same thing will also happen at the main competition. So you don't have to worry about having a countdown timer or anything like that in front of you. You're making sure that you're pitching. But what you want to do is you want to practice your pitch a lot before you actually get to the preliminary rounds. And we have pitch practice sessions. We're also going to have a workshop in March that will tell you all about how to make an effective presentation. And the really cool thing about it is everything that we do for EagleWorks, yes, it's to help you all learn how to compete, how to think in entrepreneurial mindsets, but all of this stuff that you're learning actually has direct connections and implications to your academic coursework, right? So for example, when you come to this workshop, you're creating your presentation. The concepts that you will learn will also help you to improve the presentations that you make for your classwork. So I know a lot of y'all have group work. A lot of times you'll have to do a presentation, create a PowerPoint. The things you learn here are very applicable to your courses. Also, I know a lot of times, how many people like group work in your classes? How many people don't? Okay, so what this will also do for you is learning how to work effectively in this in your EagleWorks team, especially next week for our effective communication workshop. You all will learn how to better and more effectively communicate with people, right? So sometimes talking to people can be a little bit difficult. Why? Maybe you have one idea and another person has a completely different idea. What does that cause? It causes conflict, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that conflict is actually not a bad thing. Conflict can actually create better solutions and ways forward, but sometimes we can get our feelings hurt, or maybe we are saying one thing and somebody else is hearing something completely different. we will help you understand how to communicate. And those things can also be compounded, so because a lot of times we have different personalities, right? And then sometimes, different majors can communicate in different ways. So I'm a marketing major, right? My undergrad was a marketing major, so I'm colorful and creative and bouncy and all over the place, right? Well, then you've got an accountant. I'm just using this as an example. I had an accountant roommate, so I can use the example. But the accountant doesn't communicate like me. So a lot of times as a roommate, we had some conflict until we actually understood how to actually communicate with each other. So we'll lead you through those things. And especially when things are kind of coming down the wire, sometimes we can get a little stressed. Y'all know how it is, at the end of the semester and all that. We will teach you ways to cope with that. So again, we've got your back every step of the way. All y'all got to worry about is, do y'all have an innovative idea, and do you have the right people on your team to compete? So again, review the how to compete in the FAQ pages. It's all on there. I guess I've already kind of talked about this. Again, 7-minute maximum pitch. It tells the story. Your presentations don't need to be overly complex. They just need to be supplementary to what you're saying. The whole idea is for you to be able to, one, on paper in your plan, communicate your innovative idea and the solution, right? And then be able to communicate then verbally to the judges through your pitch. So the presentation it's not all about the presentation. It's about you physically having a pitch to the judges. So really, again, the presentations are really supplementary to everything, because you should be able to do this without any presentation whatsoever. And we'll guide you through those things. 5 minutes question and answer for the judges. So the judges are there to poke holes in everything. So we will prepare you all to get to the judges, and then we'll actually have several sessions, some in here and some over at the Biz Foundry, where we will have real actual entrepreneurs there that you can actually give practice your pitch with them, and they will poke holes then. So anytime that you can have a resource with a person that's actually done this before and actually understands what you all are doing is a great opportunity for you all. Again, obviously it's for EagleWorks, but just in general, it will teach you, I guarantee you, it will teach you to be a better and more effective communicator, and will also, of course, help you with EagleWorks. So please take use of those resources. What we're doing this year is, let's see how to explain this. So at the competition, this includes the preliminary rounds and the main competition, we're going to give you an HDMI connection. You can bring your own computer in. You can have your own PowerPoint. You can have your own Prezi. You can have whatever presentation you want. We're going to give you the HDMI cord and just run with that. In the past, we have given a lot of rules and limitations on the type of presentation. It had to be PowerPoint 2016 on a non-Mac computer, yada, yada, yada. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to give you an HDMI cable, and you can bring in your own laptop. So we will have ample time for you all to set up and do that. That does not count against your 7 minutes. So once you're ready to go, that 7 minutes will start. So again, you can use any presentation software you want. We highly, 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 highly recommend no video, because we have a saying that Murphy of Murphy's Law, y'all know Murphy's Law? Murphy of Murphy's Law lives in audiovisual equipment, and she or he, whatever it is, will not come out until it's time to go. We have seen this time and time again. We had Dr. Stretch, well, she's back there. Yeah. We had a team that made it into the finalist round. They were the first team to go up on stage. We got like 300 people in the audience, and they wanted to have a video to start out everything. They wanted to have this grand video. They were going to be on the back stage, and the video plays, and they all walk out like all awesome and everything while the video's playing. Well, guess what happened? The video didn't play. It was a black screen and there was no audio, and then it was super awkward. Well, that's just one example of many that we have seen. So again, please don't use video. If you absolutely have to have some type of animation of some sort, maybe use an animated GIF. But again, I would not rely on anything animated, because the PowerPoint is not, the presentation is not your pitch. Your pitch is you being able to pitch to them. Because I've had a situation when I was actually doing governor school, we would do the same thing as EagleWorks. Lightning hit the building about 2 minutes before they went on stage, and we all did it in the dark, all right? So you should be able to, adapt and overcome anything that comes your way, because what happens to one team, we will then have to have happen to all the other teams. So be ready for those things. Don't rely on your presentation. But I will tell you this. so that you can keep up when you're on stage. You can keep up with what's going on. We will have what we call a confidence monitor in front of you. So instead of you having to be, you'll be on stage, and actually we'll be in Bell Hall, so the monitors will be on the left and right side. You all can't actually see those, so we will have a nice monitor in front of you so that while you're clicking through your PowerPoint or presentation or whatever it is, you can see exactly where you're at. So we will provide you that, and then again, a person will be letting you know 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Getting way ahead of the PowerPoint.
Am I really?
Yes, you are.
Well, it's not. It's like I've done this for 8 years. So, so again, just don't do video. You don't need to do it. And then, of course, test your presentation before you speak. So we will have ITS staff available and on site. So if anything goes wrong, a projector bulb blows, you need another computer to hook up real quick, whatever happens, we will have ITS staff support available for you all. So judging. We've already talked about the preliminary, but basically what we'll do is we'll put you in a preliminary group, and then we will provide your plan, your business plan to the preliminary judges. They'll do their due diligence. You'll show up. They'll know all about it, and then they're going to ask you questions about it after your pitch is over. The judges will score you on a rubric. So let's talk about the rubric. So the rubric is your way to be able to compete. It lets you know exactly what you've got to do. All right. Is the rubric in here?
I don't know, but I'm bringing it up right now.
Okay, so we'll show you the rubric, but the rubric just basically, like I've said before, the rubric is have you identified a problem? Have you solved that problem? Is there a market large enough to where you could actually potentially solve this problem? So you show that you have done a little bit of research into the market of it. And then we have one of the parts of the rubric is social impact. A lot of people always ask me, well, what does social impact mean? And what we mean by that is if your invention, if your idea was to actually become a reality, which we'll talk about some resources for you to make that a reality, you can, what would be the impact upon society for that? So that's not necessarily saying that that's a nonprofit. That's not what we're asking. We're asking for you to be able to articulate, you solved this problem, what are the implications? Does that make sense? So what's the social impact? Then we have, so everything that I just said, who are your customers? So we want you to identify the problem, identify who you would potentially sell this thing to. Have you solved that problem? So you've got a solution. Obviously, you've got a solution, or you probably wouldn't be in EagleWorks to begin with. But then what is your market size? What's the social impact? And then finally, is presentation story. We are not judging you on your actual presentation. So again, the presentation is just a supplement to your pitch. So we don't care what it looks like. The judges don't care what it looks like. What we're asking you to do is what we're judging you on is how articulate were you in being able to explain to the judges through your pitch what why you should win. And I'll give you a little bit of insider information. So when the judges have this rubric, right? You go through everything, and then we bring them back together. Once everybody's done, this goes for the prelims and the main competition. When everybody's done, they all come together and talk about it, right? And then we're there with them, and basically what we ask them is we say, obviously, one, who did the best, pick the best top three. But a lot of times, it's not that simple because all of you all are pretty amazing and you have awesome solutions. So what we really actually do is we say to the judges, so the first place prize is $10,000, right? So in this case, we'll tell the judges, we would say, if you had $10,000 of your money that you were willing to invest, who would you invest it into? And the same goes for second and third. So really, it's not how pretty your presentation is. It doesn't matter. Maybe you don't even do a presentation. We don't care about that. What we care about is, were you able to pitch, and what did your business plan look like? So I need to mention as well, the business plan, the preliminary judges see the business plan, okay? And then you will pitch to them and then do the question and answer. When you go to the finalist round, if you make it to the finalist round, those judges have not seen and will not see your business plan. And we do that on purpose because at that point, we need you to be able to pitch on stage to that group of judges what it is what your product or service is, right? Does that make sense? So again, the preliminary judges will see your business plan. The finalist judges, if you make it through, will not. Everybody cool with that? Cool. Anything else before I move on?
I think that's good.
Okay. So awards, fun stuff. $20,000, and we will break that into first, second, and third. Again, we will have smaller awards. So Rural Reimagined. Several of you, I think, have heard about the Grand Challenge. If you have not, Grand Challenge is where Tennessee Tech wants to utilize all students, faculty, administrators, and the community to examine and research rural problems and challenges and solve those. So we are offering this year $2,500 to the team that their idea most impacts a rural area. So if you solve some type of rural challenge and you're the one that's the best at it, you can win $2,500. So here's the thing about it. You don't have to win the competition to win that award. Anybody, even if you are in last place, but you're the one that best affects and changes or solves some challenge in a rural area, then you are able to potentially win that. And we have a group of judges specifically for that. So the awards are scholarships, right? So let me say that again. We award as a scholarship. So several of you all came to the challenges last fall. These
1 second.
Yeah, well, we
there.
have a winner over here as well.
No.
No, we don't. Okay. Sorry. You look exactly like the.
No.
You look very similar to Bailey. My apologies.
And Emma was in here, but I think she.
Yeah, and then Emma won first place. She was the girl that just left.
She won third place.
She won third place. Anyhow, we have winners in here, and it's awesome. And
This is why
apparently, I'm not good with faces and names. So anyhow, the point being is that we award as scholarships. Okay, so you get all the benefits that you would normally get as a regular scholarship. So what we hope that you do actually is now you can use this as straight up as a scholarship if you want, but really what we want you to do is get that out as excess aid and actually use that $10,000 to further your business or your idea. If you are at a federal, is anybody in here at federal maximum aid by any chance? Nope. All right.
Like
if you don't know what that is, then you're not
$25,000
at it. Yeah. So the federal government says that there's only a certain amount of scholarships and financial aid you can get. It's right around $21,000. If you have a situation, or if you have a teammate that's in that situation, let us know. We'll work it out. So that's really the only negative part of awarding as a scholarship. So I think that's all we'll say about it. So again, they're awarded as a scholarship, and what we do is we divide it equally on your team. So if you win a $1,000 scholarship, and there's 4 people on your team, each of you all will get $250, right? Okay, everybody.
And this happens pretty quickly. So like this isn't something where you're gonna wait for
Right.
6 months.
Yep.
You'll usually have it within a week or two.
Yep. So we get that done pretty quick. So that's also a really nice benefit. And what's really cool is you can do the excess aid, and guess what? You don't have to pay taxes on it. So if we gave you a $10,000 check and straight up a check and it wasn't scholarship, you got to pay about 30% on that. So that's another great benefit. Any questions about the scholarships, awards? We good? All right. Okay, so we'll go over the competition day as we move forward, but just understand that it'll start at 1. We will have a trade show. A trade show is where you'll get an 8-foot booth or an 8-foot table with a black tablecloth, and we want you to be super creative and build a booth, right? So be able to demonstrate to the public what it is that you have created, and that's always a lot of fun because we have a couple hundred people from the community come through, and that's an opportunity for you all to interact with those people. Little hint, the finalist judges, you won't know who they are, but they actually will be at the trade show. So be on your best behavior and work on your great communication skills that you all have learned from coming to the workshops. 2 o'clock. So 2 o'clock, the finalists will be announced, and then at 2:30 we'll start with the competition. So it's gonna be a great day. We'll go over that in much more detail. Just understand you'll be able to set up at 1 o'clock, and we are ready to go. Or set up at 11. We're ready to go at 1. You have something to say?
Yeah, I just, we did this last year, and I think we might re-engage this year where we give each team a set number of business cards. And then
Yes.
another part of owning your own business is to get your marketing out to your audience. And so if you can bring in people with those business cards, and they'll put the business card with your name on it in our little treasure box,
Mhm.
we have a prize for that too. So
Yes.
It's not
Yeah.
just all about technological innovation.
That's
There's some
right.
marketing in there that we want you to practice.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, if any of y'all are in here and you're thinking about a nonprofit, nonprofits have actually won. So it's not all about, you don't have to be the hard tech, hard science. This is for everybody. This is an innovative solution that you all are going to solve a problem with. So we've talked a lot about EagleWorks. I know that's a lot of stuff. I am not even going over the slides of what the format of the day looks like. We'll communicate that with you. Y'all don't need to worry about it. What y'all need to worry about right now is, do you have a team? Do you have an idea? And are you ready to get started? So with that said, before we go into some of the resources that we have in place for you all, what questions do you all have? Andrea, do you have anything that you would like
The
to
one
say?
thing I would add is, so we're doing the preliminaries on April 3rd.
Mhm.
The trade show and final rounds are April 18th. You won't know if you're a finalist until April 18th because we're mean. But everyone competes in the trade show. That is where we get our side awards from. So our Rural Award, the Networking Award that Dr. Stress was just talking about. We do some other things. We did one for Best Trade Show Booth last year. And also on the webpage, on FAQs and how to compete, there's a link to our photo gallery from last year. I would look it over because some of the booths were pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's really, the only rules are, one, can't have any electricity, so we can't buy the fire code, we can't plug anything in. It's also a tripping hazard. Two, be super creative, and that's
Also,
really
no
it.
open flame.
Well, no open flame, no combustible,
That's a rule
engineers,
too,
no,
yeah.
no combustible, anything.
Yeah.
Anything that makes exhaust, no go. So, what questions do you all have?
Is there any examples of prior winners that you have?
Yeah, so we could probably make that available. We just
We
don't
are-
have that up right now. We have our prior winners, what they did, but
We should have last year's winning pitch up
mhm,
within the next few weeks.
we can do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I will, word of caution, I wouldn't put too much emphasis on what they did. Think about what you do. 7-minute pitch, 5-minute Q&A, and answering the rubric questions via the business
Our
plan.
winners have all been
Yeah.
very different.
Very, very, very
We've had
different.
medical device, we've had
yeah.
an app, we've
Yeah.
had
Nonprofits, we've had
Yeah.
services, we've had all kinds of
odd
stuff.
jobs. It's all over the place.
Every single one of you all have the opportunity to win this thing. I guarantee it. Every person in this room can do it. Yes.
My question also pertains to like previous winners. Was there a company named Miscellaneous Men?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they won last year.
I'm actually trying to get involved with that same company right now.
Awesome, very good. Well, I'm glad that you're going to be a part of it. However, being as they won first place, you can't compete.
Well, no,
on
I
it,
mean
so-
actually just working for them.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I see what
not-
you're saying. Well,
just
that's
working
awesome.
for
By the way, Miscellaneous Men, they are a service that does odd jobs out in the community, specifically helping elderly people, etc. So, if you all want to get involved with that and actually get paid, they pay Tennessee Tech students to go out and do that stuff.
Yes, you can contact me and I can connect you with
Yeah.
the owner.
So, good on you for getting involved in that. What other questions do we have? So we talked about the rubric, we talked about competing and pitching and awards. What else? What other questions do we have? Have I made a lot of sense and everybody understands what we're talking about? Is it too, okay.
So is each one of the workshops themed on the EagleWorks competition?
That's a great question. Let's talk about the workshops.
Are there some that are just like general entrepreneurship?
So, I will answer all those questions and more. So, Andrew, do you want to talk about what we're doing? Or do you want me to go?
Go ahead.
All right, so we will have weekly workshops, and they are all, yes, based around a theme. There's actually 2 outcomes to the workshops. One, that particular theme that we're actually talking about that night, but also 3 things. 2, for you all to be able to ask questions to us so that we can communicate with you anything you need to know. And 3, it's an opportunity for you all to network because there will be different people here at different times, and it's also an opportunity for you all to get that information, right? So to answer your direct question, the next one we'll have is next, they'll all be at 5 p.m. in the Makerspace, by the way. So we have effective communication next. So we talked a little bit about that before. Yours truly will give that. It's one of my favorite ones to give. The week after that is not a workshop, but it is the design challenge, and that's going to be at 6 p.m. in the RUC multipurpose room. So any of y'all that did the challenges last semester, it's going to be the same place. If you didn't, 6 p.m. RUC. We'll have
5 p.m.
is it 5 p.m. this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 5 p.m. Just make sure you're looking at the website. Don't listen to what I say. But it'll be the design challenge. So we'll basically give you, or if you're going to come in and solve a problem. And we are going to lead you through the design thinking process. So while this is a challenge, it is actually a workshop because we're going to teach you all the design thinking methodology. Does anybody know what design thinking is? What is design thinking? Well, tell us. You got a little, you're saying this. What do you think?
No, I've just heard the phrase.
You heard the phrase. All right, so the design thinking thing is something that will literally change your life. So it's a great way to figure out how to not only solve problems, but develop a solution to that. And that's kind of one of the first things that you all want to be thinking about. Obviously, you're looking at the problem that you want to solve, so how do you do that? So as a quick tease, we have the design thinking chart over here. There are 5 steps to it. So first is empathize. You don't have to worry about this right now. We'll lead you through the workshop. But you empathize with the people that are experiencing that problem. Then that helps you to then figure out how to define what the problem is. Because if you can't define the problem, how are you going to solve it, right? Then once you define that, what that problem actually is, you ideate, e.g. brainstorm. What are some of the solutions to this problem? Then you build a prototype. So we're actually going to build a prototype as a part of that challenge, and then you test it, right? So our testing version on this is you will actually present that prototype to the room and to the judges, and we have a $1,000 scholarship that you can actually win if you're the best one. But really, what we want you to do on this is not only do we want you to have fun and compete in that challenge, but it will teach you design thinking, and that is a way that you can think through how is it that you are solving that problem through EagleWorks. So it's a really great tool for you all. But again, like everything, yes, this is for EagleWorks, but really ultimately this is going to help you all with your academics, your coursework, and your general life. So design thinking, it's a really, really good thing. And it's going to be a lot of fun too. Okay?
And we'll have food and we'll have some really good giveaways.
Yeah, we'll have some great giveaways. We've actually got some giveaways tonight, so we'll get into that here in a little bit. What time is it? Almost 6. All right, so moving right along. Then the Wednesday after that, we will have the business model canvas. So that's again how you can be able to articulate what are the different legs, so to speak, of our idea. How would we actually commercialize that? How would we look towards moving towards a business? So again, you don't have to have an actual business. But this is thinking about how you would move in that direction, right?
That's one of the most important
Yes.
workshops.
So
try and make it to that one.
make sure that you get to that. That'll actually be led by our friends at the Biz Foundry. So Jeff Brown from Biz Foundry. Then the week after that, we'll have Q&A and coaching, and we're actually working on what that actually looks like right now. So Andrea and I are going to be, obviously we're going to be doing the workshops. We're going to be speaking with each of you all. So we will be building what that workshop looks like over the course of the next few weeks, so that basically that will be an opportunity for you all to get any questions answered that you have, for us to address any issues that are coming up.
We'll have some faculty, we'll have people from
Right.
Biz Foundry here.
Yep.
So if you have questions about how to do financials, if you have questions about, I don't know, how to do 3D printing or all kinds of
Yep.
things, just if you have any questions, we'll be here to
Yep.
help, and we'll have different resources.
Exactly. Then after that, we'll do a branding presentation. That's all about what is that passion and that feeling that that your business gives off. So we think about, as a quick preview, think about Coca-Cola. When you see Coca-Cola, what do y'all think about that? What does Coke mean to y'all? Refreshing, right? Good times. It's polar bears, the color red, right? How does Coke make y'all feel? So you see this bottle, does that make you feel thirsty? Does it make you repulsed? Does that make you think bad for your teeth, pre-dental majors? What do y'all think? How do y'all feel about Coke? That's right. So the whole idea is that branding is a feeling. So colors, logos, those are all ways to convey your brand. But the brand itself is actually how you feel about a particular company. So Coca-Cola, I love Coca-Cola. If I quit for a week, I'd be craving it too. I just want an IV injection straight into it. But the connection to your all's coursework, but also more so just in general in your life, personal branding is highly important. And when we talk about personal branding, you think about people. So you say, I'm not going to give any specifics here, but think of somebody that you know that's a liar, right, or a thief, right? That's kind of their brand. So what's that feeling? If you know that you've got something that you're interacting with somebody that's a liar, your feelings are negative about them, right? Well, the same thing applies to your company or your business model. Is what is that feeling that you're projecting? Now, we're not judging you, we're not grading you on, there's nothing in the rubric about the brand, but we like to do this one, because it's my favorite presentation to give, and two, it really makes you all think about how are you going to act on stage? What is that feeling that you're going to communicate to the judges that will shine through in your pitch, right? But again, it also affects how you are as a personal person. So when you all are out there and you all graduated and you're looking for a job, personal branding is very important. So when you are interviewing, or maybe you're doing a dinner interview or something like that, being able to project your brand to the person that wants to hire you and give you money is critically important. And also, I know that most of y'all at this point have probably heard me say this in various other classes, but experience, I cannot stress enough, experience trumps everything out there. So as a person who has, in my professional career, hired and fired over 1,000 people, I can tell you that experience is the most important factor when I am determining if I want to hire somebody. And the thing about it is a lot of people have a higher education degree. Everybody has good grades. So what can you as a person do to differentiate yourself and to show that hiring employer why you're the person they need to hire over everybody else? And by doing EagleWorks, this is a resume ready thing. Put this on your resume. This shows experience, right? This also allows you to learn those soft skills. So it will teach you how to more effectively communicate. It will teach you how to become a better, demonstrate a better brand for yourself, and many other positive benefits as well. So EagleWorks, yes, is a great opportunity for y'all to compete and earn some money. But really, what we're trying to get at is we want to make that direct connection to your academics. We want to improve you all as people, and we want to make you all career ready individuals, because Tennessee Tech is the best choice for you all to have come to, and we want to make sure that we do everything to prepare you to get ready for the real world. So again, kudos on you all for coming tonight and being able to want to compete in EagleWorks. So other questions about the competition? Good. All right. Well, how are y'all feeling? Right. Yes.
I was just going to ask the design challenge. So that's something that we don't know what the topic is when we're going in.
So we're not giving you a topic on this one, unlike the Maker Challenge. The point of it is for you to, if you don't have an idea for EagleWorks, it can maybe help you come up with one. You can form a team while you're at it. And then we might give like a couple backup ideas. Like if you just can't think of anything, or you don't want to do your EagleWorks idea for this, come up with some fun challenge.
Or maybe you've seen a problem or a challenge out in a rural area that maybe you want to solve, and you can prototype a solution for that. So we will, while we're not giving you a problem, we will have some backups, like Andrew said, but we'll also, through design thinking, through this process, you will be able to come up with what that problem is that you want to solve. So again, like Andrew said, maybe the problem is the one that you're trying to solve through EagleWorks, or maybe it's not. It doesn't matter. It's a chance to win $1,000 and learn the design thinking methodology.
Should we form a team beforehand, or
It's up
It's up to you.
That is up to you. Show up, eat food. We'll take you through this. You can even form a team while you're there. So it's gonna be pretty interesting.
We'll have like probably a half hour at the beginning where
Right.
it's just like food
Yeah, work.
and hanging out.
Yep.
And we won't get started until like 5:30.
So
You'll have time
yeah.
to like talk to people.
I know it sounds a little ambiguous right now. It'll be show up. It'll be a lot of fun. So okay, what other questions do y'all have about the competition? How's everybody feeling about the competition? Are we feeling nervous? You got a question? You feeling
I'm
good?
giving you thumbs up.
Awesome. I like the thumbs up. Who else has got thumbs up? Good. All right. Who's feeling a little nervous or negative about it? Anybody? Any reasons? All right. Cool. Well, that means that I've done my job for that. So where's my presentation gone? So let's let's log back into the computer, and we will quickly go over some of the other awesome opportunities that we have for you all as Tennessee Tech students. And
I will say while he's trying to get that done,
I changed my password today.
all of the
Because that's my
dates
muscle
for all the
memory.
pitch practices, every activity, it has date and the location on the tntech.edu/EagleWorks website. So go to that.
Yeah, good. I can't overstress that enough. Here we are. Okay, so Dr. Stretz, are you here?
Sir, I'm still back here.
Would you care to talk about our I&E certificate and the University Innovation Fellows? Please?
Sure.
Absolutely. wander up where everybody can see. So we have a lot of other opportunities for you to capitalize on, and we are, after all, a capitalistic society. So, welcome, and we love you, and we want to give you money.
Literally.
If you guys will just accept it. So we have a couple of other things that we can give you that will check some of the boxes that you need to check while you're here at Tennessee Tech. One of them is you can earn a certificate while you're doing the work that you're doing for EagleWorks. So your participation in EagleWorks counts for a class in this certificate, okay? And you have to like keep track of your hours and stuff like that, but beyond that, not much. Plus, there's a couple of classes that you can take that have entrepreneurial perspectives in them from business. I think there's one that's running right now. There are some pop-up classes. There was one that I'm sitting back there trying to get organized. Pop-up classes happen over a weekend. So like if something happens and you suddenly decide that you can handle another class. We have, for example, a class in Introduction to Finances for a Startup Business. So it's kind of, financial literacy, just kind of knowing what does profit mean, what is gross net profit, things like that. And sort of understanding the business plan. That, to be announced, right? The business department is teaching that. So we have these classes, plus one of your senior level classes, like a design class or something like that, will count towards a certificate. There's a couple of things you do along the way that are already, that you're gonna do anyway. And you can get the certificate, which is like stacking your credentials as you leave here. You have a major in X or Y or Z, plus you have this certificate in innovation and entrepreneurship. So there's that. The other thing that we wanted to talk to you about was the University Innovation Fellows. So University Innovation Fellows is this really cool program. So some number of years ago, some of your faculty attended this program offered by the Stanford School of Business in collaboration with the National Science Foundation. And these founders, so to speak, were sort of trained in the things that you're seeing here, the design thinking and the lean launch pad and all of this startup, the things that you're going to learn through this program, we were taught some time ago through the Stanford School of Business. And so they said, hey, you need to start something here on your campus, and we did, and that was the faculty startup, so to speak. That was the faculty startup, right? But they have a student startup thing too that you can compete for. There is a handful of University Innovation Fellows worldwide, and you can be one of those. So we have 3 of those right now here at Tennessee Tech. Dr. Fettner is one of the sponsors for one of our University Innovation Fellows this year. If you want to be a University Innovation Fellow, the only restriction is that you have to have 2 years left with us. Okay, because you have to have time to do your project. Your project that you choose is actually a lot like an Eagle Scout project. It's something that you choose in order to have social impact here on campus. So how many of you have gone back to your apartment or your dorm or your home and said, God, what are those people thinking? Why is the world like this? Why does everybody have such a huge carbon footprint? Why don't they recycle plastics? Why do people get addicted to opium? What, opium, that's a really old word. I've been reading old mystery novels. It just, stuff like that, right? You want to have an impact here on campus, and at least locally or regionally, especially rural reimagined, you want to have some kind of an impact. You can do that through University Innovation Fellows. You can partner with the faculty if you want to. You will have a faculty sponsor, but you're the leader of this. And sometimes we have partnerships with faculty where it's pretty even collaboration between the student and the faculty. Graduate students can do it so long as you have 2 years left here at Tennessee Tech. We put you forward. We can nominate you. And every dean gets to nominate one person. So you get nominated, and then we have to pay for your fee at Stanford, and then you get trained, and you become part of the next cohort. The training is not through us. It's through conferencing, Skype, videos, things like that, through a place called VentureWell.
And we pay for all of that for you. The fee is covered by us.
Yeah, so I have to go around and try to get money for that. So anyway, that's my job. So anyway, then once you get trained, you have to apply to be a fellow, and we don't decide who the fellows are. VentureWell decides who the fellows are. And so your energy level, your commitment to your project, your ability to use the resources around you and to act not as a student, but as a colleague here on campus and affect change, institutional change, will be judged by the people. It's VentureWell, sort of still allied with Stanford Business School and the National Science Foundation, but they're kind of a separate thing now. And then at some point, we try to get you money to fly out to California and visit Google headquarters, which is kind of cool. How many engineers are you thinking? Yeah, that would be fun. And then they finish your training basically, and they announce when you graduate as a fellow, and then you have to come back and do your project. But you're part of University Innovation Fellows global. There's a handful of these people globally that are affecting institutional change. So, did you want to talk about what you and your colleague student are doing?
So, I'll stand up so you can see me a little better. So I'm in the biology department. My student is Rachel Smith, and so she has a lot of experience working in state parks, and she has had some sort of outdoor leadership type of things through the state parks. And there's a lot of interest. We just talk to people, they're like, oh, that sounds cool. But there's not really a place to go on campus that has really taken off. And some things have been offered, but there hasn't been a lot of student involvement. So she is spearheading that as a process, as sort of an outdoor leadership training. Ideally to have kind of like a pop-up course, but maybe a couple of meetings on campus to go over kind of just things you need to know, how to build a fire, how to tie knots, how to do just all kinds of things that you need to know, but also some first aid, things you might get into if you were an outdoorsy type person. And then actually spend 1 to 2 days, depending on what we work out. So like a weekend trip, go out somewhere, a remote camping site. We have some contacts through the state parks, but also through the Nature Conservancy, or is in support of this now, to kind of put some of this stuff into practice. Kind of have some activities where you're forming teams so you actually get to practice some leadership type skills, do some kayaking, do some, depending on where we are, maybe some rock climbing, those kind of things. So that's what she's working on.
It's very individual. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is
Very
highly
much
variable what
about
you come
your
up with.
passion and what you think should be brought to this campus as a means of institutional change. We have another University Innovation Fellow right now who's working on, I think we let a video station, TV station, sort of, area sort of obsolescence here on campus, and she's fixing that, making that happen. We have a person who's leading the charge to recharge iCares, a nursing and engineering collaborative group here on campus, student activity here on campus. Wow, what else have we done? We've had one student lead bringing TED Talks to campus, and we called it Tech Talks. It was a lot of fun. We had somebody, let's think, what else have we done? We had somebody who helped bring Bloomberg financials to the geology department. It really is just all about what do you think is the cool thing to do. We had one person who was working with a virtual reality experience with the iCube for making a movie for freshmen to talk them into the idea, or an experience, a 3D experience for freshmen SOAR, to talk them into the idea that they really should not be taking drugs on campus because addiction is a really sad thing. It's in the way of all your goals and needs and stuff like that. So, any questions about University Innovation Fellows? The idea that we like buy you a plane ticket, fly you to California, is that cool? Hopefully you got some leaders in here who can think of something you'd like to change your own campus.
If it's something you're interested in, go back, please. There's an interest form up on the website, tntech.edu/innovation/UIF. And you can fill that out. It'll go to me and Michael and we'll pass it on. So
We expect the University Innovation Fellows, I mean, you know, we're paying for a lot of things for you to help us out with EagleWorks a bit. Because it's a startup. The project is a startup, yeah.
So is it like a project that you do alone as a what's it called, University Innovation Fellow? Or do you have is it like a team of people working together?
The fellow is a single person, so you'll lead that. You can create whatever you want to. Like my first fellow that I was sponsored for created an entrepreneurship society, a social entrepreneurship society. And so he effectively had it. They ended up winning EagleWorks. They now have a business that brings in how much?
They
$500,000
just sold
a year?
Yeah.
They sold it!
It brought in $500,000 a year. They wanted EagleWorks, and they just sold it, and they've got a pretty good padding in their wallet now. And they're taking their final semester of chemical engineering. So I thought you might like
Oh my
that.
God!
Yeah.
and you'll get to meet one of them at the final
Yes.
round.
So
It is,
one of our first
something.
actually kind of often MCs the,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just have a
he's not politically correct by the way.
about the,
Because when I nominated Rachel, just kind of did it at a meeting. Do students need to go to this and fill out the?
They don't have to, but it helps us.
Yeah.
Helps us to help you stay in the pipeline a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're all busy people, so things can get dropped and that's bad. So if you just register there, it helps us to keep you in the pipeline because we're gonna have to get your deans to say yes to this. We need you to have a faculty sponsor. There's a lot of little bits and pieces that have to be accumulated and we're on your side to get that all done. You had a comment or question?
I did that on
Forgot. Well, holler at me if you. I'm Dr. Strutz. Just think like stress, like Dr. Stress.
And when you're coming to these workshops, anytime if you think about being an innovation fellow, you can talk to any of us about it. You can even talk to your own faculty about it, and just as long as the information gets back to us, that's what we really need. And then we'll talk to you more about what that process looks like and becoming one of up to 4 that we can have every year. So we're really excited about being able to have that opportunity to do it. And again, going out for basically a week out to California and hanging out with Google, rubbing elbows with Facebook, and all the other top technology companies out there.
And being a colleague here on campus, I mean, that's one of the things that's
Yeah.
hard to convince even the administration of is that the person who takes this on and gets a stamp from VentureWell that they're a University Innovation Fellow is external to the university in a lot of ways. And like I had one student who was going to come in and do something with our SOAR, and they announced it. They gave a press release, right? And then I got a call from the VP, from the vice president of that area here on campus of academic affairs, and he was like, "What is this? You haven't talked to me about this. You did blah blah blah," because they named me as a sponsor, And it was like, she doesn't have to talk to you about this, but she's glad to collaborate with you.
So it really is level the playing field. And really, if you want to make some type of change on campus, this is something that will allow you to do that.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Also another great resume opportunity.
Yeah.
So, well, with that said, so that's an opportunity. And then really, really quick, I know we've gone over time. I want to get y'all out of here. I wanted to make you aware of 2 other opportunities that we have. that can help you with EagleWorks. So we have this program called I-Corps. It's a National Science Foundation grant that we have here at Tennessee Tech. It's actually very prestigious that we would have that here at Tennessee Tech. Essentially what that will do is that will help you take your research, take your product, take your idea, whatever it is that you have, and help you to understand how to make it even better. And the really cool thing about it is that we can give you up to $3,000. If you join this program, you can qualify for up to $3,000 of developmental funds. We can pay for travel. Basically, the only thing we can't pay for is legal advice and alcohol. So if you want to know more about that, this is a grant. This is not a competition. This is not a loan. It's not something you have to pay back. This is $3,000 to you to help make your product even better. So again, if you want to know more information, let me know. I don't want to go too in depth because I know we've already gone over a lot of stuff and it's late. And then finally, there's also the Eureka program. That is a mini grant from the provost office. So if you just search Eureka, TennTech Eureka, I don't use the search function on the website. Any of y'all use the search function on the website? Go to Google, type in TennTech Eureka, and it'll teach you all about it. That is another additional $3,000. These are not mutually exclusive. It's a $3,000 grant that you can get to help fund your undergraduate research. There is a person here right now. One of their teams is actually looking at that. So we will have a much more information for you. It changes just a little bit every year. So once I get a little bit more details regarding Eureka, I can tell you more about it. But if you search and go to the Eureka page, the leader for that is Dr. Ed Lissick. He's over in chemistry. You email him and he can tell you all about it, but basically you got to come up with basically I think a 2-page proposal, 5-page proposal, something like that. Find a faculty sponsor and then submit it to him, and then you can get that process rolling. So what the deadlines are, what the timeline is, I don't know, but we do have this service. So the main idea is that we have up to $6,000 that you can potentially qualify for going into EagleWorks that has nothing to do with the awards. So I would certainly look to capitalize literally and figuratively on that. So with all that said, I think let's go ahead and end the workshop.